Hey, it's Rebecca Smith from the KBIA newsroom in Columbia, and it's time for Missouri Health Talks, a project where we listen in on Missourians' conversations about access to health care. This week we hear from Quinn Calvert, who, in the past, had to travel from Columbia to St. Louis to get an abortion. They spoke about the ways that lack of access influenced their choices leading up to that abortion. As a note, this conversation took place after the Dobbs draft decision was leaked, but before the official ruling overturned Roe v. Wade on Friday, June 24th. Here's Quinn.
I always wanted to have this abortion as soon as I found out, just because I was like, there's no way I can be a good parent to this child. And there's definitely no way that the other parent should be involved with it. And so it made me wake up in a lot of ways. It made me just be like, okay, nope, I really am sure about this. And then as soon as I had recovered, I got a 10-year IUD. But before I decided I was going to go to St. Louis to get an abortion, I had done a lot of internet research because it's not like I could talk to a doctor about it. So I did a lot of internet research and found this one herb, and I ordered a bottle. That didn't come, so I used this backup method, which was taking a bunch of this one vitamin, and all that ended up doing was making me really sweaty and have to pee a lot. And so I did put my body through a lot of things just trying to avoid getting an abortion. So I just think I would have kept seeking out those alternatives. I think I definitely would have gone to a lot more lengths. But if I would have had to keep it, I definitely would have had to give it up for adoption. And I know adoption is a really traumatic thing for everyone involved. And I also know that the way the parent feels who's carrying the child, if I'm stressed out my whole pregnancy, if I don't want this child, if I'm sending all of those messages to the baby that I'm growing, they're going to enter the world really scared and feeling like they're unwanted. And so that's going to make me sad for that child the rest of my life, especially because it's yes, you were my child, but I never wanted you. And I had to go through all of this. And birth is one of the most traumatic things you can go through. It's really painful, physically and emotionally. And having a forced birth like that, I feel would have really messed me up in so many more ways than having an abortion would. Because I've never regretted my abortion. I'll tell anyone any advice that they want to have about it. I really am glad I had it, and I view it as necessary medical care. The thought of not having that medical procedure available to me is a really scary thought. I guess not necessarily for me, but for anyone who would be in my situation, possibly in the future without being able to access an abortion, just because, you will go to a lot greater lengths, get rid of something.
That was Quinn Calvert speaking about their own experiences with abortion and about the concerns they have if the procedure becomes even more inaccessible. That's it for this week's Missouri Health Talks, which was reported and produced by Abigail Ruman. Tune in next week for more conversations from throughout the state about health and access. I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks for listening.